So even though I don't celebrate it, every Christmas, The Last Drive-In comes out with their Christmas special. And every year, I see what this Christmas special is. And I have a good time, I have some laughs. It is just what it is. And I can really love the movies, I can really not like the movies. Either way, it's a good time. I don't have anything bad to say about it. So this year, I thought that I would talk about the two movies that were shown and see if you agree with it and tell you kind of what I think about this year's lineup. The first movie that was shown was called Rare Exports. And it's a Finnish movie. And let me check my notes here. It's a 2010 Finnish Christmas movie. And the thing about this movie is if you're used to the Western horror movies, and this is the same with Norwegian films, it's a different experience altogether. It's really easy because they're quieter to view them and kind of get lost with how quiet they are and how that quiet and that seeming lack of action is actually really impactful. Now, you can take or leave this movie. I'm not saying that you need to like this movie by any means. But I think that was part of my experience, is not being in that mood to appreciate this movie. So I would see this movie again. I do want to give it another try because there are a lot of things great with this movie. So what this movie's about is this group of people that are reindeer hunters in northern Finland and their children, and they're having problems with their reindeer hunting business. And it coincides with, I don't think they say, but it might be kind of implied that it's an American company that's up on this mountain drilling. And they come across Santa. And Santa in this movie is not somebody that you want to come across. He's somebody that was locked in ice in a mountain, and there's some folklore about that. I encourage you to look that up. And when they get closer and closer to thawing out the Santa that was locked in ice in this mountain, things happen. Chaos ensues. And you think that is the movie, but there seems to be a secondary movie. And now that I've seen the end, because the last 20 minutes kind of is its own movie, I want to see the beginning again and see how the ideas lead to the end. I kind of want to. So I do think that it's worth checking out, and I would see this again next Christmas season. I don't really think it needs to be Christmas season. It could just be cold, because it's not overly Christmassy, although Santa does take part in the whole thing. It doesn't feel like our kind of celebratory season. So let's talk about a few things. So it's in a different language, majorly. There are some parts, like with the American company, they speak English, but everything else is subtitled. Apparently the father and son, the main characters in the movie, are actually father and son in real life. So that is kind of interesting. That's an interesting little twist on that. It's a very quiet movie. The scenery is gorgeous, but I think anything in northern Finland is gorgeous. That's just me. That's kind of all my jam. And I wouldn't say it's dialogue heavy, but I would say it's quiet. And I would say that as far as action goes, there's a lot of action at the climax, but it all kind of ramps up to action. There's a lot of kind of, you're not really sure as the audience, or at least I wasn't, what was going on. I think it would be a great Tuesday movie or midweek movie. I don't see it as a movie that you would have a party with or whatever. It's not particularly fun. It has really neat concepts, especially at the end, but I don't see it as a celebration, haha. Let's view this movie at the end of a party or as background or whatever. I see it as a good midweek. You came home from work and you're wanting to watch a movie with other people actively watching it. It's hard to judge in these kind of movies the acting that's involved. I think that the acting was done pretty well, but I don't know the style of acting for that location. It's really hard to pinpoint and compare it because it's not a Western movie. I shouldn't compare it. It wouldn't necessarily be fair to compare it with other Western movies. I would say that I really enjoy what it has to offer. And so I recommend checking it out. The next movie that they showed was It's a Wonderful Knife. Now, I have to be honest here. I have never seen It's a Wonderful Life. I have no idea. Like, I've seen the bell ring, angel wings situation, whatever that is. But I'm not confident that I'm even putting the context right. I could be completely off. I haven't seen that movie. So the spoof that this movie does off of that movie is totally lost on me. And I totally acknowledge that. This movie could have been a lot better than I'm giving it credit for because I don't understand those references. It was fine. I wouldn't say that it's a horrible movie. It's totally the opposite of Rare Exports. It's a slasher movie. There's lots of action. There's lots of things that happen. It's not dialogue heavy, but the dialogue that's there is not meant to be deep. It's just meant to get the character from point A to point B. That's it. It's not meant to have anything really thought-provoking in there, I think. You can disagree with me in the comments. But yeah, like it was fine. It was the opposite of Rare Exports as well, in that it was very in-your-face Christmassy. Like, this is a film to watch during Christmas. I'm not sure if it's a fun enough film to watch whenever. It did have kind of callbacks to movies like Scream and whatever, and took a lot of ideas from that. And you see in the movie when these things come into play. I wouldn't say the acting is particularly good, but I don't think they tried to be particularly good in acting. So I think maybe that's a cheesy thing that they were meaning to be. So I don't know what to say there. For sure, I liked the fact that I didn't think it was serious. I didn't think they were trying to make a serious movie. There's nothing more annoying to me than when a movie tries to be more serious than it is. I don't get it. And I don't get when a movie tries to show itself to be more brilliant than it is. It's like you've made poop on a stick, but it's hilarious. Just commit to the fact that it's poop on the stick, but it's hilarious, right? Like, I don't see where the issue is. And the premise for this movie, so apparently it's just like It's a Wonderful Life, but there's a few things that are mixed up. There's a main character that's a woman, I don't remember her name. That probably tells you how much I was really paying attention to the movie. And she is doing well, I would say. And then there's a bunch of things that happen one Christmas that she internalizes and has a lot of trauma around. And when next Christmas comes around, she really thinks, why am I even here? This whole world would be fine if I did not exist. And there's an aurora borealis in the sky, and voila, she is now in the world where she did not previously exist. And what did that world look like? So a lot of the trauma stuff that happens in the Christmas before is still going on because, she wasn't around to stop it or to make any impact on it. And so that's the slasher component. And yeah, chaos ensues. And it was fine. I don't think I'll remember this movie. I already think I didn't invest to remember this movie in the first place. Like, stuff happens, people had names. I have no idea. No idea. It was fun. I'm not mad at the movie. I wouldn't be bored with the movie. If somebody wanted it in the background of a party, I can see that. I can see not that it was fun, but that it had some neat kills. It had some neat slasher moments and some funny moments and whatever. So I can see that it's just kind of in the background. That's what I would say. Between the two, I liked Rare Exports better. Between the two, Rare Exports was reviewed slightly higher than It's a Wonderful Life, but not by much. So I would say they're both worth reviewing. I would say that probably an older audience would appreciate Rare Exports more, and a younger audience would probably appreciate It's a Wonderful Knife more. I'm not sure. Tell me what you think in the comments. But that's kind of my take. I think that It's a Wonderful Knife kind of went surface level and it didn't go deep at all. And I think that Rare Exports as well kind of went on the surface for a little bit and then kind of went and did a dive and went really deep. And so, yeah, I think that the audience that would appreciate these movies would be different. So there you have it, folks. That is my review over what I saw for the last drive-in this year for their Christmas special. Let me know if you also have that as something that you enjoy over the holidays, and if there's anything else that you like over the holidays that I should be viewing. Thank you very much for watching. Be sure to like this video if you did and leave me a comment if you want. And I hope you're doing the best with the situation that you find yourself in today, and I will talk to you later.